imagine that through those dimensions of expression and awareness and duality and knowing self, and then once you get in a very high dimension or of awareness of, there is no separation from dimensions, okay? There's that idea of that is a different realm. Dimensions are not realms.
Okay.
But let's say that once you tap into the ninth, for example, the I am, when you are the unity, you go back to the unity. Imagine that sound can be the expression of archangels, and those mantras and chantings can like really reach high dimensions. You cannot think sound as just a hearing.
Yeah.
Sound, it's an element. It can transform. It can become aware. It can be,
Yeah.
The Bible says something very intriguing, which is, in Portuguese, is o verbo se fez carne, which is the verb became flesh. I don't know if it makes sense in English.
Yeah.
So the verb, vibration,
right,
became the body, right?
Right.
So
yeah, that's why language is a tool for manifestation, at least the way I see it. The better you can articulate your thoughts and ideas, the more manifestation power you tend to have.
Yeah. And also, there are people in the world they can translate beautifully everything that comes through them, and also how their minds are, processing, and they have this beautiful knowledge and this beautiful gift of translation. But some people, they usually who translates cannot feel that much, but people that feel much sometimes cannot translate that much.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes
by translating, you mean from the ethereal into the physical?
Yeah, but the translation can be through parables, or forcing you to translate yourself.
Yeah,
kind of like Jesus would do, right? But it holds, but I'm not saying that it is, I'm just saying hypothetically here, but holds a huge amount of energy within that it's able to transform, right? And it can be in many ways manifested, right? Through energy, through sound, through love frequency, and there are also people out there that holds that wisdom inside that doesn't say anything. It's just to look at that person, you are able to shift, right? Is the presence, is
it about the visual aspect of their presence, or is it about...
No, it's nothing about visual.
Right.
It's about what it's felt.
Right.
It's about, the level of achievement within.
But was the feeling originated through the visual cortex? Like you said, by just seeing them, you're maybe understanding how...
If a blind is seeing, how would the blind see? By feeling, right? It's the same. It doesn't matter. You just see because you see, but it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the presence.
Visualization and vision, I mean, it's one of the biggest source of input for us, at least the one that we're aware of, and maybe the one that's more developed in navigation of 3D space visual, right? And I feel like the practice of meditation often involves some kind of visualization, which you're not necessarily using your eyes to visualize, but it's a similar practice of seeing with your third eye in a way. Would you say?
Yeah. There is a university or a school or something in London, and I believe in Belgium as well, that they are doing experiments with superhumans. And it's so beautiful to see. Like, they can literally read a book with their eyes blind. They can literally perceive reality with their eyes closed. And they also developed something with people that had eye problems with this technique, and this person start to see again and not really needing the eye to see. How do you explain that?
Yeah. How do you explain that?
Yes. Once you are able to tap into this consciousness of you, the body is the one that expresses. It is regardless, but how you are expressing, right? And if there exists evolution, how would that evolution be? Remember, I would love to help you to make the right questions, and the answers are yours.
Mhm.
If there is evolution, how would that be? And why wouldn't be possible? Right?
Right.
If there is an observer of the self, who is observing? And who is in command? Is there a command? Who is in control? Is that a control? Is that a button where we switch on and off? Right? And so the vision, it's unto where you allow yourself to see. And I believe it's part of us that is not even close to what can be expressed, like our abilities as human in this body. I think we're still very limited, and I think we have tremendous abilities and still to be evolved and throughout our senses.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it about our senses that are able to perceive, like in this example, or is it about maybe your ability to tap into your higher self that's able to perceive physical reality? How do you, or
I need you to elaborate better. This one, I'm sorry.
right? So clearly their eyes are closed and they don't see the reality with their eyes,
But they can see.
but they can see.
Mhm.
One interpretation that comes up for me is maybe the same way how we, let's say, have downloads of information and we're able to solidify them with language, maybe write them down or verbalize them.
Mhm.
But we're basically connecting to something. Let's say it's your higher self that's communicating messages to you, and then you're processing them through your conscious mind and able to solidify them in this reality, right?
Mhm.
Maybe this exercise is us tapping into the higher self that's knows everything, and we're able to pull that information from there and not from here in a
Mm.
way.
Yeah, that's a good way of seeing it.
Yeah.
But also imagine that a cat has ears like us, but he hears a lot more than us,
Mhm.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
A dog too can sniff,
Yeah.
but it sniffs it like
Yeah.
1,000 times. It's almost like, yes, that sight can be evolved and not just seen as we see, but evolved from what it is
Yeah.
to more. But I don't think it's a limitation to that. And also to any senses.
One thing that I wanted to share with you around visualization, I often have um I would consider myself a tech junkie. Like I follow tech trends because I see it from the perspective of human evolution. Technology is being on the forefront of the evolutional process.
Mhm.
And often I get downloads and visions of of like a future implications of particular technology, something that we don't have yet, but something that will exist, or it's basically almost like tapping into the space of possibilities and seeing something that's more probable based on my knowledge of different aspects of technology and recognizing that there's a pattern here and that there's something emerging, something like that. And so in the visualization department, I've had visions where utilizing something like mixed reality or virtual reality. Imagine an experience where you're sitting in front of the mirror. So you are wearing some kind of like headset that's ideally not heavy. It's a very light. You don't even feel it. Similarly, how we have AirPods, right? There are no wires, nothing. It's just very natural. And so you're seeing yourself in the mirror, and now this whole practice of bringing your awareness to yourself as you're looking at yourself. Now you also additionally see as you breathe in, you see the air is flowing through your lungs. It just gives you a lot more awareness about how your body behaves. So you can basically create like a simulated experience that as real as you're looking at yourself, it feels as real as you're looking into the mirror. But it also has additional things to it, like things like we know that breath is a real thing, but for some, for example, visualizing their energy chakras might be very difficult. Like even the whole concept of what is that when they go into meditation and you say, oh, envision that you have this chakras and the energy flows. Somebody who've never experienced it before, it would be hard for them to visualize it. And I feel like an experience like that where they literally see it with their eyes, they see themselves in the mirror, they can literally just move around and they see perfectly their own body. And additionally, they also see the energy centers. You can really educate them on what actually might be happening behind the scenes. Somebody got to create that experience.
Yeah, it's just because we're very attached to the five senses. We need to see, touch, smell, taste.
Exactly.
Right? And we need to see to believe. But now we're shifting to believe so you can see the manifestation of it. To really believe and be. So if you meditate constantly, every day, imagining that you are what you want to be, you are, and you have the things you want to have. And if you every day you bring that emotional state, you are sending those signals to the universe, and there's no way that you will match a different signal. That reality will start shifting, and I think the challenge is to keep up with those small manifestations that will start to occur. So, and sometimes it's not one thing that needs to be in alignment. It's several things, and it doesn't happen. So people get discouraged. So, again, you need to be consistent and practice, and be in that state and really feel you are in that state. So until that state, it's really present there and you are living that reality. So it's believing so you can see instead of seeing so you can believe.
Wrapping up our conversation, this has been a very fruitful and engaging, interesting conversation as I was hoping. Is there anything that you think would be useful for you to share in this platform, considering that we can create beautiful micro content as well that you potentially use for your own channels? A message. So maybe what I thought may be useful would be sharing a message with either your followers or people who are tuning in, something that could give them an extra push to keep moving, keep evolving, keep growing, or anything else that comes to mind.
Comes through.
Thank you.
I think would be useful if the understanding of enjoying the journey could be really there for people. It's so easy to say, enjoy the journey, when the journey, it's been hard for some people and very difficult and challenging, confusing, and you're facing a lot of anxiety, depression, and everything. But if I can bring the understanding that wherever you want to be or achieve, there is a limitation that you already put in yourself. And at the same time, depending how far you are, you're putting a lot of weight too. And if you take that limitation away and just be infinite, the sky is not the limit instead, right? And you also are not in a hurry to get anywhere because you took out that limitation. That is something that really helps. But then, Millah, I need to have a vision. I need to have a goal, right? Yes, the goal is to set the goal, but not limit that goal. And just expand that goal. And you can go beyond that goal, right? But Millah, that's going to make it even harder. I know. But again, you don't need to put that weight on yourself. And once you understand, because if you go through your journey complaining that I'm not getting there yet, it's hard, the entire journey will be unpleasant. And maybe you get there, but throughout a lot of blood on the way, right? And once you get there, it's not even fun because you look back and you say, God, it was so hard to get here.
For sure.
I'm exhausted and I'm not even enjoying this moment now. So if you have fun with the process, once you get there, it's going to be like, wow, I knew it. right? That's just great. So, but if you get there and you have that limitation, you said, yes, I knew it. Yes, that's fun. But then again, so now what? So if you have that infinite, road, which it is, and take it or leave it, believe it or not, you don't die. There's continuation, again, believe it or not, take it or leave it. But yes, it's an infinite road. So why not to find that balance within? Oh, I'm having conflict, emotional conflict. Yes. And you have more. Yes, I'm having a trouble here and a contrast here. Well, until you don't learn what that came to teach you, that thing will stuck there more times or longer.
Yeah.
So, or you open the paper in front of you and start really understanding the process and on it. And next, otherwise you're going to be stuck in those things and the road will be harder and harder. But what makes that possible? It's only one thing. A decision. It's a decision. You decide how long you want to stay in that state. You decide. I'm not feeling, I don't know, I don't have the pulse to change. I don't have the pulse to continue. I don't have the pulse to make that step forward as you are telling me, Millah. I know, but something you need to decide. Something inside of you need to decide. I want this. I want this change. And sometimes we just don't want that. We are used to that state. But it is, at the end of the day, it is a decision. You decide until when you feel that you need to be in that state. So if I can share, that is, try to enjoy the journey and look for the tools that you will be able to manage that life. I have to say, YouTuneIn, it's a tool where you can manage that stress level. You can manage that life. You can manage that frequency. If you have that daily, you be able to not be that reactive to things and really process. And it's a total change. But like YouTuneIn, there's so many other tools out there and help and support. Build your support system and build healthy habits, healthy habits for yourself. You will see the change. You will, and that it's priceless. So then you will be able to appreciate more things and to appreciate more your family, your friends, and the things around you. And your lenses of the world will change. And it's not how you will see with these eyes, but how you perceive those visions.